Sweet love, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Before it goes boom, blow, how you like America now? Babylon the Great, so foul. Terror, full-blown terror, spreading like gossip on Gerardo Rivera. Terror, devil to step to the Israelite zone, with the all getting slaved with the scriptures, baby, it's on. We too strong to have a march like a pool, but I'd rather feel my sword to your guts. I'm nuts for the truth and the knowledge of the Bible, and fucking red devils for survival with your house shine. Oh, you forgot about Christ, you crooks. Enslaved his holy people with the good book you took. Mercy, mercy, you was bloodthirsty. Now you wanna go to heaven first, see, but pardon me. While the angels and you call UFOs are beaming us up, you gon' get struck with a bomb.
Right to invade with the troops. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the troops. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the troops. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got.
And so as we say goodbye to our dark friends and neighbors,
America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the troops. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the troops. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the troops. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got fire in the sky.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Hidden Truth. I'm Kazakia. We are the Israelite School of Biblical History, Practical Knowledge, and we're located here in Houston, Texas at 8524 South Braeswood, okay? And we asking you, brothers and sisters, to constantly support us, to check out our shows, our classes. We have classes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But here on The Hidden Truth, we're in Houston Media Source, okay, on every Tuesday at 8:30. Okay, so please check us out. We're live. We're going to go ahead and get a phone in here, and then you guys can call in live when we're on live here in Houston. So we are touching the local scene here in Houston. We are on YouTube at Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We also have our live classes. We have classes for the kids also on ISBHPK Kids, which is every Sunday, if you'd like to join us for that. Okay, so The Hidden Truth, this show is based off on various topics that we're going to just rip apart, man, and try to take the hour and show that a lot of these different things that's going on throughout the world, through the media, through the nation of Israel, we touch on a lot of those topics. So just if you're not familiar with us, check us out on YouTube and feel free to join us in classes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay, so we have with us today Priest Tahawa Mayam.
Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters.
Priest Ariyah.
Shalom.
Okay, and the topic we're going to be touching on tonight is race wars.
Yeah, and that's a big thing with our people is coming out of Black Power movements, coming out of slavery. We're dealing with a lot of people that want to bring that mentality into the truth. Mm-hmm. Once they find out they're Israelites, okay, now I want to be a Black Hebrew Israelite power group. Right. Movement, you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people are labeling us. We're the BHI, the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. Oh, okay. You know, even you got Vocab Malone basically calling us this movement.
Okay, whoever that is. Okay.
Right, you know, he's big out there with the YouTube crowd, but okay. You know, it's these guys into apologetics and stuff like that, but it's basically what has made them put us into this box that we're just some movement or another type of religion or even a cult, is because you got a lot of brothers and sisters taking that anger from slavery, taking that anger and not realizing that we were in those positions for a reason. We were cursed because we disobeyed the Most High. Right. So when they look at the scriptures, they need to be looking at it like, okay, I did this. That's why the white man got to rule over me. Right. My people did this. That's why we were in this position. But what they're doing instead is trying to act like they're entitled to something. Mm-hmm. No, you're not entitled.
Starting out, let's just say the white man and every nation that had part in that, right, the Most High is going to pay them back.
He's got something coming.
Right. So just for people that didn't think we were, because you got a lot of our brothers and sisters think that we're coming from a Christian standpoint. No, we know that the nations are going to be punished for what they've done, but we're trying to, with the scriptures, keep our focus on the Most High,
right? As
opposed to all the things we're going to show. I'm training to live in the forest upside down. Eating bats and this lifestyle.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be focusing on that.
Right.
And that's where this topic, where we're the depthness of this topic we're trying to touch on.
Exactly. And Donald Trump being president didn't help. A lot of our people freaked out about that. They lose their focus on the scriptures.
Right.
And they start going into, okay, Donald Trump's president, I got to prepare for the race war.
Right.
He's a racist. He's a bigot. All the presidents before him have been racist and bigots.
Right.
Your war has been going on since since George Washington. He owned slaves. So you got to get that mentality out of your head, first of all. All 44 presidents were racist and bigots, including Obama. He did not care for his people. He did not care for black people. He didn't care for any of us.
Right.
Because all their policies stayed in force. We stayed populating most of the prisons.
Right.
So, this whole idea that Trump's in office, there's going to be a race war coming. There's been a race war.
Right.
The fact that Trump's in office is proof that there's been a race war.
Right.
So what we're going to do is hit the scriptures. I'm going to hit it in 4 ways. I want to show how brothers and sisters got the mentality that there's going to be a race war.
Right.
And I'm going to use the scriptures that were brought out, that certain brothers were raised with even, and introduced into the truth with. And then we're going to show what's really going to happen, and the pros and cons. What's on their side, what they got going from them, and what we have going for us.
Absolutely.
And so that way, brothers and sisters can put it in perspective that there's not going to be a race war.
Right.
When they put all this together.
Not a full-fledged, and we're going to say this a lot. There's going to be skirmishes.
Right.
There's going to be little uprising, you go downtown and they're having a little, gathering.
Right.
And then, like they had in California.
Yeah.
Right. When Trump was getting big.
Right.
They were praising Trump and everything, and then you have a lot of our Mexican brothers and sisters go out there and get in skirmishes with them.
Yeah. That's what was spooking me out, because I'm like, okay, one white guy punched a brother at a Trump rally.
Right.
It's a race war.
Right. but it isn't though. That's the whole point, that the Most High. If you look out, there's so many mixed people. Our people are mixed and mingled. Like you got a lot of the so-called white people that were just marching down, against Trump.
Right.
So we have to take into account this mingled mind mentality, that where it's not going to get up to the millions or a straight out nation against nation.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to show here.
Right.
It's not going to be nation. The so-called Negro nation, Hispanics, the 12 tribes of Israel against everybody else.
Right, exactly.
It ain't going to be that. There is going to be skirmishes.
Right, yeah.
No doubt. But it ain't going to be us rising against them and all that stuff.
Right, exactly. Okay. So the first little set of topics we're going to hit is going over the scriptures that brought people into believing there's going to be a race war.
Right.
And they're very valid scriptures, but like a lot of topics that, that people go off in, they miss the basics. They miss the basic scriptures that show you, no, that's not how it's going to go.
Right.
It's not going to go according to your mind and how you think that scripture should say it.
Right.
It's going to go according to what the Bible says.
What it actually says, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the first one we're going to hit is Matthew 24:6, because this is a big one.
All right, Matthew chapter 24, verse 6.
Go ahead.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Right, so race war.
Right.
Fits right in. No, where do you see race war in there?
Right.
It doesn't say race war. You're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Right, absolutely.
Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled.
He just said it right after. Don't trip.
Right.
Don't freak out and start jumping to conclusions and saying there's going to be a race war.
Right.
Go ahead.
For all these things must come to pass.
They got to come to pass. Okay, well, if that comes to pass, right, that means it's going to happen and it's going to blow over. That's what y'all got to understand, is this so-called race war is not going to be white against black, Mexican against white, black on Mexican. It's not going to be like that because, well, just the simple organizational factors involved. our people won't gather together at a family reunion without trying to kill each other, their own family. So how are we going to gather up together? First of all, to have a race war, to have any kind of war, you need a what? What do you need?
You need a military.
You need an army, right? You need a military. You need some kind of unified armed force. And we can't unify for anything.
Right, and even amongst the Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
You know what I mean? You still got people that they just want chaos.
Right.
You know, they don't want no unity amongst us.
Right. I want to be the leader.
Right.
I don't want to follow you because I want to lead, but I don't have no damn sense. And so this person peeled off and they want to lead.
Based on that itself.
Right.
Based on that itself.
Right. See that? So we got to understand these scriptures are not saying what we think.
Right.
As we read in Isaiah 55, his thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. Right. So we can't keep trying to inject our ways into the scriptures. The Black Power movement has never worked. All right. Huey P. Newton, dead. The brothers that were with him, dead, disbanded. Black Panther movement, disbanded, done. The new Black Panther movement, bunch of fags, done from the beginning. Who else we got? Martin Luther King, dead.
Man, can
Malcolm
we go back
X.
to Nat Turner? David Show.
Right.
I was thinking about the Nat Turner.
That was over quick.
You know, I'm wondering, I got to definitely go into the history more, but I'm wondering as the movie was really how it ended.
Shoot, they killed the movie as fast as they killed Nat Turner, man. They started telling people, oh, it's sold out, and cats was going in the theater, and there wasn't nobody in the theater.
Wow.
So they killed the movie so you couldn't have an uprising. So you couldn't get the uprising thoughts.
Yeah.
They got videos of brothers doing that. They go into the theater, they go to the ticket counter, they tell them it's sold out. They walk in for another movie, go look to the Nat Turner one, and there ain't nobody in the theater.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were telling people that so the ticket sales would be down.
Whoa.
Yeah, it only opened with like 6 million, something like that.
Holy cow.
Medea did better than him.
They did 17 million first opening weekend.
Right.
6 million for Nat Turner because they was telling everybody it was sold out.
Yeah.
At the counter.
Yeah.
Wow. So they killed the movie about the rebellion as fast as the rebellion got put out.
And that shows you that Esau is organized. The so-called white man, these nations is organized.
Yeah. And, you know, it's going right into a lot of these scriptures that are going to unfold.
Right.
Is that they got their policies. They got their little ways and tricks that we ain't even touched yet. Right. Our people have not even got to that level. The best thing we did was we took that birthright when Jacob did it. Right. Since then, we haven't had the kind of craft and guile that Esau possesses right now.
Ooh, amen.
Christ said it. He said the children of this world are in their way wiser than the children of light.
Right, right.
See that? But where we at?
The last precept of verse 6.
Uh-huh.
It says, but the end is not yet.
Right, that won't be the end yet. Go ahead.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
See, here it is. Nation's going to rise against nation.
Nation.
Yes.
Nation.
Key point.
Nation.
See, you caught it quick, right?
Nations.
But our people are saying, oh, race war. No, we don't have a nation.
There you go.
That's why he's saying in Zephaniah 2:1, gather together, oh, nation not desired.
Right.
We haven't even gathered together yet.
Right, right.
Like I said, we can't have a cookout without shooting each other. Mm-hmm. So there's not no nation to say we're going to go against the nation of Esau.
Yeah. And for the Israelite brothers and sisters, once again, let's think about it. Mm-hmm. How many camps, how many schools can organize in one mind, one spirit, one judgment?
Right. Yep.
And even get together. You know, I remember when House of David spoke about getting canned foods and things like that, organizing that.
Right.
Yeah. How many people were against it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're not against training. We're not against getting canned foods. We're not against that.
All right.
But we have to put things, go back to the Bible and understand your canned foods are not going to save you. Your guns are not going to save you. And that's the point of this topic. Right, exactly. Then that's not going to save us.
Yeah, we got to unify under these scriptures first. Get all these little differences knocked out of the way and be able to unify under Christ and what he said first, not what we feel.
Right.
See that? Because, and it's understandable. There's a lot of anger, a lot of rage from watching Nat Turner-like movies, 12 Years a Slave movies. You watch movies like that, everybody wants to go out, grab a gun, and go shooting at Esau. Right. But the thing is that what the scriptures say? Right.
Yes. We want to. Right. But we understand the scriptures. So I just want to say that because a lot of these cats, they don't understand that. See, our point is obeying by the commandments, by the scriptures.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that we want to do, but we have to understand that's out of the spirit.
Right.
That's not going to help us.
Yeah, and just in case it doesn't get injected enough in there, it is going to happen. There is going to be
skirmishes.
Yeah, there is going to be none remaining of the house of Esau.
Right.
There is going to be a destruction. He that leadeth into captivity will go into captivity.
Right.
He that killed with the sword will be killed with the sword. But black man, Mexican man, it's not going to be your sword.
Yep.
Y'all got to understand that. Y'all better read that Psalms and find out the wicked are his sword. He's going to use another wicked nation to come against this wicked nation. See that?
Right.
It's not gonna be us destroying America. You can't have a family reunion. I'm gonna keep bringing that up.
Yeah.
And they have armies, Navy, Air Force,
right.
SEALs, Marines. You know, they got everything. Where you at?
Verse 7. It said, "For nation shall rise against nation,
Right.
and kingdom against kingdom.
Right.
And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places."
Right, so you're saying, oh, well, I'm reading this. That hasn't happened yet. Well, the famines are here. The earthquakes are here. The pestilences are here. So that means those wars have been happening. These things have already passed. But these are just, like it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows.
Right.
So don't count on, oh, there's this future race war that's going to happen and then Christ is going to come. No, the race wars have been happening. All right, we read that Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. All those conquistadors, all those European explorers knew we were the lost tribes of Israel and were coming over here to annihilate us. Talking about the tribe of Gad, the Native Americans, Seminoles, everybody else. They knew we were over here and they were coming to kill us.
Right.
So that race war is not brewing, it's boiling. It's burnt.
Yeah.
All right. Where you at?
Verse 8.
So that's it on that. Go to Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. I'm trying to knock these out quick because there's a lot of scriptures ingrained in brothers' heads that is consuming them and making them feel like all that anger that they have for the white man is justified.
Yeah.
No, you better have anger for the sins and the wickedness you committed to make the Most High take a people that was considered not a people and put them over you as your rulers. You see that? But where you at?
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
You've had a what?
A perpetual hatred.
The white man has always had a perpetual hatred for our people. All right, we got to understand that. These other nations, since Psalms 83, David knew about it. These other nations, the Moabites, all these other nations, the Hittites, everybody have had a perpetual hatred for our people. So it's not something new. The race war is not something new. Y'all got to understand that. This is something that they've always had. But let's read on.
And has shed blood, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
So they've done this already. They've shed the blood of the children of Israel. Go ahead.
By the force of the sword.
Right. Go ahead.
In the time of their calamity.
Right.
In the time of their iniquity.
So he's saying because you've done all this, go ahead.
In the time of their iniquity had an end.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood.
He will do what?
Prepare thee unto blood.
See, the Most High is saying he will prepare this nation for blood. They're going to be murdered by the Most High's forces that he sends. See that? He didn't nowhere in there say Israel was going to prepare them for blood.
Well, then let me throw it in there then. What about thou art my battle axe and weapons of war?
Exactly. Now, what is our warfare? We were talking about that on the way up here.
Okay.
Our warfare is spiritual, not carnal.
We're the battle axe and weapons of war because just like Romans chapter 3 tells us, we're the ones that were entrusted with the oracles of God.
Right.
In Romans chapter 9, I believe it is. Yeah. To us pertain the adoption, the giving of the law. How are we going to destroy these wicked nations and these wicked principalities? With guns?
No. But also, I threw that out there because there is a time after.
Right.
He gets his vengeance, that we will come in.
Exactly.
And that was the point that, because that's the one that brothers are going to say.
Right.
I would say it. What about my battle axe? You're my battle axe and weapons of war. And the thing is that our vengeance and Christ's vengeance are not going to overlap.
Right.
You got Christ's vengeance first.
Where it's going to be perfect.
Where his vengeance in 1 hour, 1 day. Right, and then after he does all the good, the big work, then we're going to get ourselves together enough to go do the end of the job.
Exactly. He's going to send hunters.
There you go.
Afterward, or he sent fishers, and afterward he's going to send hunters.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, where you at?
Verse 5. No, verse 6.
But no, I'm glad you brought that up because we were talking about that on the way up here. Well, what is his battle axe and weapons of war?
Yeah.
It's going to be Israel. True.
Right. Yeah.
But what kind of warfare are we as Israelites
Like
fighting?
now.
Right.
Now what we're
because
fighting.
the scriptures tell us the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Right.
But mighty to the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds. Well, we're going to be pulling down strongholds, but not carnal ones.
Right.
We're going to be fighting and breaking down these nations and breaking them in pieces, but how? We're hitting the YouTube. We're hitting the street corners.
Right. The thing is, I think when we deal with this topic, we don't look at thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
Right.
We're looking at that as, once again, overlapsing crisis.
Right.
Vengeance.
Right.
And that's where I think this misconception is, that they're thinking, okay, they're not understanding that Christ has to get his first.
Right. Exactly.
You know, when we go into Zephaniah, or was it Zechariah about the angels?
Right.
Or is it Joel? It's Joel where it says they shall march in troops.
We're going to go into that.
Okay,
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
See, he's going to prepare them to blood. Go ahead.
And blood shall pursue thee.
You know, a lot of people hear me or anybody else say this stuff, and oh, you guys are soft. You guys, you ain't ready to fight Esau and everything like that. We ain't seen y'all fighting Esau.
Right.
We ain't been on no street corner where you had guns and you was going to the police station.
They're not stupid enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to take down the police.
Right.
You watch plenty of movies. You watch Rampage. You can watch all the movies and see.
Right.
Narcos. All he was doing was rolling up, throw some hand grenades in the station and roll out.
Right.
That'll make the ones that don't die, it'll make them quit.
Right.
They're doing it in Mexico right now, but they ain't winning.
Right.
They still not winning.
Right.
See that? So that's the problem, is our people, they wanna get geared up for this mind state of, you know, I hate this man and everything, but you don't really want to fight this man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you hate a bully, but you ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why? Because he has power over.
And listen, the fact is this, man. Let's look at whoever's saying that.
Right.
That you're scared, because if that's the case, then let's look at all these cats that are being killed.
Right.
Let's look at all these Israelite men are being killed. Well, if you say, well, they were wicked, that's why they were killed. Well, then where's this war going to come in at?
Right.
What are you fighting the war for? Okay. I'm asking, when is you going to step in and fight the war then? My point, you see my point?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when is it that, if you're saying brothers are cowards,
Right.
well, then when are you going to step up and get guns and just go blaze Esau?
Right.
The fact is you're not.
And we're gonna go through exactly why. We can do it right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that because look at the guy that ran up on these cops. You know what I mean? Whether that was a Illuminati magic trick or whatever. He shot that cop right in his face. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. What did they do to him? They blew him up with a damn robot.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this: if your mind is you're gonna go up against them,
Right.
win.
Right. Oh, let's do this because we got a couple clips set up.
Okay.
Let's see how they're training their kids.
Okay.
And let's see how Israelites are training their kids.
Okay. Let's
even
go.
right now.
Okay.
So if you got one of the clips, just to show, this is how the so-called white man, this is how this wicked society, this is how they're training their kids. All right. We got I think she's about 8 years old in this clip.
Okay.
But go ahead and play that from the beginning right there.
Turn the volume down in here, though. Go ahead.
Let's see if they can get it running. But we're basically gonna play a clip to show that y'all not ready for this war. A lot of y'all sitting around barely gearing up with the scriptures.
Right.
And getting your mental ready.
Right.
But I don't think she played it from the beginning. I wanted that from the beginning because the thing is, this gun right here, a lot of y'all niggas can't even get that. and for many reasons. You can't get that because, you know, the scriptures are going to pull out through their policy. They make craft to prosper. You ain't getting your hands on guns like these because most of y'all consider criminals. Most of y'all blacks, Mexicans, so-called Native Americans been pulled over, stopped, and criminalized. They told you was resisting arrest and put you up there as criminals. So now you can't get your hands on guns like this little 8-year-old guy. And this is a little 8-year-old white girl, 9 years old. She been training for a long time since she was 4, and she ain't missing nothing. She ain't missing a thing. And you think you going against that while our sons and daughters are being trained in a whole different way. This is how we training. No, go back to that dancing one. There we go. This is Cuba. This is how we training our sons and daughters. The tribe of Manasseh right here.
Wow.
This is what we training our sons and daughters to do.
Wow.
So one more time, what are they training their kids to do? Show the one with the girl punching the tree. This girl's 8 years old. She's a Russian. This is one of the tribes of Esau right here, or what you call Gog or Magog's territory, but Esau lives up there. And this little girl is 9 years old, can throw 100 punches in a minute. 100 punches in under a minute. And she's hitting a tree. She ain't hitting a leather, cushy punching bag. Right? She got her big giant dog that'll eat your face right there. And she's not wearing gloves. And she's going to go right through the top of this tree right here. Now, that's you so-called Negro's head. That's you so-called Mexican's head right there, even if you're a grown man. So you got this girl, you got that girl, and you think you going out there with a 9mm.
Wow.
And some street fighting skills.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the stuff you see on World Star Hip Hop.
Right.
But, I just wanted to throw that in there because this is the mindset of our people is ignorant. We sitting around teaching our kids to twerk.
Right.
While they teaching their kids to run through the woods and hunt you down.
Like you said, on World Star.
Right.
And we're going to throw some up there when we get an opportunity. But like the ones on World Star, these guys they can't even swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember the one fight that they had and the guy stabbed his own buddy in the neck?
Wow. Wow. We got to find that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, this is the problem with our people is we trying to bring all this rage and all this anger. The problem is when you're mad, that's the best time to fight somebody is when they mad, when they
Right.
just pissed off and mad because they swing wild, they act wild, and they don't think. And that's the problem with our people is you came into the scriptures with all this rage, anger, right? But you're thinking and so you're looking at all the scriptures through this anger mind state, and you're thinking it justifies you getting to express your anger.
Right.
No, the scripture tell you be angry and sin not.
Right.
You know what I mean? It tells us what we're going to be coming up to. A lot of brothers want to go out there. We're going to be raping your women. We're going to be killing you and doing it. What kind of righteous man does that? What kind of righteous man got to rape a woman?
Right.
Beside that, look at the world today. We got to live in reality too.
Right.
Which the scriptures cover that, but all they women is coming to us.
Right.
We ain't got to go out there and rape them. You be like, hey, Becky, get over here. She'll bow down right on you.
Right, right.
See that? So it doesn't make sense, the mentality of certain brothers and sisters to look at the scriptures and say there's going to be this race war.
Right.
Because the scriptures you're using to justify it, as we're going to keep plowing through, the scriptures they're using to justify it are not justifying your race war.
Right.
It's something you want.
Right.
See that? But where you at right now?
That was the verse. That was the end of verse 6.
You're in Ezekiel 35?
Yeah.
Read on.
Verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate.
So he's going to make Mount Seir, which is Esau territory. Basically, it represents Esau, the so-called white man. He is going to make it desolate, not you.
Right.
See that? The Most High is going to send people to do that. So as you read on, brothers want to hit 35:5 and say, see, y'all got the perpetual hatred. We're going to kill y'all. No. Just stop trying to fill in what's not blank. There's more to it. If you read down, he's going to do these things. All right. Go from there. Get 2nd Esdras 18 and 15 because this is another one. There's another one. And I went to a couple videos and saw brothers teaching on these race wars. Okay. And so I pulled a couple of those scriptures. I talked to other brothers and showed, from the old school. What were you shown concerning the race war? He gave me a lot of scriptures. And none of them justify a race war.
Right, right. It was war that's going to come.
Right.
And it was destruction that's going to come.
Right.
Right.
Right. But it doesn't say in there that Israel is going to conquer their enemies. It says the Most High is going to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's going to give those spoils to us. He's going to make us rulers over all of that.
Right.
But right now, or even in the times coming. Israel's not ready, man. How are we going to be the woman in travail in Revelations? You know what I mean? Striving to bring forth and everything like that.
Right.
And this enemy's coming to fight us. You ever seen a woman in travail fighting?
Right, right.
You can't give birth to a baby and be punching somebody at the same time.
You're saying right now is we're growing as a nation.
Exactly.
Right. You know, it's not even into that point. That totally makes sense, because it's not, as we're growing as Israelites, people are just barely finding out.
Right.
We're not growing with in order.
Right.
We're not growing in unity.
Right.
We're not growing in training the kids the right way.
Right.
We're just barely learning. A lot of our people are barely learning that they're Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Yeah, you know, so if you even go to the handful of camps that you have,
right,
that's not a nation.
Right. We ain't even got the 144,000 that would be required to rule over those Israelites that could make an army.
Right.
And they can't even get together yet. So we're still.
Can I say that one more time?
Yeah.
The handful of camps.
Right.
If we all got together,
right,
it's still not a nation.
Right.
So, you know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna pull in these Jake out in the world. Right. Right. That is on crack, on dope, on drugs. Right. They mind ain't right. Well, we've seen the outcome of that.
Right. They homosexuals. They transvestites.
Yeah. Not only that, but look at all the riots. Yeah. They get together. They're stealing hair.
Burn down their own neighborhood.
They're burning down their own neighborhood. So, was it we were gonna get them right? Or was it what we were gonna join in with them, and then we're gonna do this big race war? Right. Nah, man, we got to make sense of this. This is our people not understanding that there has to be unity, power, order to be a military, to be a might. Right. That's gonna destroy another nation.
Yep. And that's why I said, you know, a lot of these brothers and sisters, they miss the basics because they want their hatred to be included.
They're motivated too much by the revenge that is going to be gotten on them. Because we're saying the revenge is going to be gotten on them.
It will happen.
But that first blow that everybody is not understanding, the first blow is by Hamashiach, which is Jesus Christ. It's not going to be by us. Right. That first blow is not going to be by us. The biggest blow that needs to happen has to be by Christ. Right.
I mean, all of us brothers teach it on the street corner that Esau is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. Right. America, Babylon the Great. We yell it on the street corners. We hit it, people in the face with it. Okay, how many of y'all brothers and sisters got nukes? Where they at? Y'all buried it in your backyard with the barbecue grill, or what? Where the nukes at? We know how America's going to be destroyed. So how you going to say there's going to be this race war where we overcome Esau and you don't have no nukes? And you're preaching that the nukes are what's going to destroy their kingdom. Right. See that? Mm-hmm. Christ is going to raise up a nation, and he says it in those same scriptures you're glossing over.
Right. We'll throw it up there too.
Right. That the nukes, these things, that he's going to raise up these nations. Right. To destroy this kingdom.
And again, if it were us that tried to hit the first blow, strike the first blow, then where would the glory of Christ be? Where would the glory of
where would his glory be needed?
We wouldn't need him.
Where would vengeance be mine?
Right. Yeah. Where would we, once we get to the wilderness, after we leave this smoking ruin of America, right? Right. Where do we start glorifying the Most High and saying He delivered us? Right. And go with one mind back to Israel.
Exactly. By our 40s and our Glocks and our
we're gonna be in the wilderness talking about, you see how I shot that cat and you see how he did it. Right. We're gonna be glorifying ourselves like niggas always want to do. Right. But the glory is gonna be the Most High. It's gonna be Christ. Yeah, ultimately.
And you know what? When we go over all the scriptures on Christ coming back, and his destruction, you find out that in Esdras it tells you that Christ is going to be on top of the mountain, and that all nations are going to go try to fight him.
There you go.
Right, as they're warring with each other. Right. And we went over this, but brothers and sisters know this. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out where is that race war gonna happen.
Right, and that's why I'm rereading a lot of these, because brothers didn't reread it and say.
You know what it is? What it is that right here in Matthew 24, what we went over. Right. That they're not seeing that those nations rising against nations is really nations
Yeah.
rising against nations like we have now.
Right.
Korea, North Korea, they're showing their ass and they trying to, show that, they can cross this boundary of South Korea. South Koreans ain't putting up on it. They're having these little tug of wars going on.
Right.
Nations rising against nation. You got what's going on in there, Syria, with Syria and things of that nature. You got America going against, doing their part against Syria and all these different lands.
Right, Israel and Palestine.
Yeah.
You got, actual nations with established armies, established navies, air forces, cats that are bound together in one joint unified force and saying, we're going to kill these people.
Right.
Those are actual nations. We don't fit in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? You keep trying to inject Israelite into a lot of these scriptures and say Israelites go to war with these nations. That's what you feel like. That's what you want.
Right.
That's what we want.
Right. We want it, but it ain't going to happen till
Right.
Christ lays the first blow.
There it is. There it is. We're going to be the cleanup crew.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Where you at right now?
You said
2nd Ezra 18, right? Verse 15.
18. Give me 1 second.
And this is another one that, it's being used to say, okay.
2nd Ezra?
Yeah. 2nd Ezra 18 and 15?
No.
That's right. It was 15. It was 15. I think you started 14.
Chapter 15 and verse 4. Okay.
Right.
2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
See that? So the Most High is saying that's going to happen.
Right.
All right. So don't let us pop your bubble. The vengeance is going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
One people is going to stand up and fight against another.
But that's just what Christ said.
Exactly.
Nation shall rise against nation.
Right.
Christ actually is quoting Ezra.
Right.
Nation shall rise against nation.
Right. Go ahead.
And swords in their hands.
And what in their hands?
And swords in their hands.
Okay, now let's get this straight. While you play that clip of the girl with her sword, with what Esau is gifted with, let's get this straight. He said they was going to have swords in their hands.
Right.
There's so many. I want you to read Daniel's 8 and 25 real fast. Mm-hmm. There's so many policies.
Gotcha.
So many things barring most so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, so-called Mexicans, all of the tribes of Israel that you see on this side, barring them from being able to get the modern day sword, that gun. All right. Yeah. There's so many policies enacted. Mm-hmm. They criminalize you. Once again, I'm going to say that you can watch the movie 13th.
Yeah.
That's one reason they were able to put us in jail en masse. They criminalized us. Everything we did was a criminal offense.
Right.
So now when you try to get a gun, do you have a felony?
Right.
Well, yes, I'm black.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was that one time I was at a barbecue and the cop walked up and he smacked me in the face and I got thrown in jail for resisting arrest and assaulting an officer because it made his hand bleed when he punched me down. So, yeah, I'm a felon. I can't get a gun.
Right.
I can't get a passport so I can run away from the destruction to come.
Right.
There's so many things they did to criminalize you. Read that, Daniel's 8 and 25.
Daniel's 8 and 25. And through his policy also shall he cause craft to prosper in his hand.
See, so now we're getting into what they have on their side. All right, what the so-called white man, what Esau has on their side. Mm-hmm. They have their policies. There is no black policy makers. If there are, they have no power. If they did, Trump wouldn't be in office. So help me out with that one. You don't have any policies that you can enact to get weapons in the hands of the black man, Hispanic man.
On the level that's needed.
Exactly. So we're not going to be able to have this race war. You need weapons.
Right.
They said they was going to have swords in their hands. You can't get swords. All right. Like I said, little 8-year-old girl on the clip, she got swords.
Right.
All right. She got multiple swords and she know how to use all of them when she pick them up.
Right.
And you teaching your kids how to twerk. So that's not going to happen. All right. So when we go back to Esdras, we see that it said that they were going to have swords in their hands. Now, what they have on their side, they have the policies. All right. What you don't have the swords. And we're going to go into that too. Read that.
Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men.
Right. Before we skip over the swords part, let's get Genesis chapter 27. And let's see what Esau's blessing is. All right. We're going to do Genesis chapter 27 and I think it's 40. Yeah. 27, 40.
Genesis 27, verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother.
Right. So we know this. All Israelites know this. If you don't know it, this is a blessing to the so-called white man.
Right.
This is their blessing from the Most High God himself. Said through Jacob.
Through thy sword shalt thou live.
By thy sword thou shalt live. So this is their blessing. The sword is their blessing. You're going to be trying to fight against the Most High, literally. He backed to them and said, here's your sword.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to live. They carried it out through history. I'm going to go through this, the 13th tribe, by Arthur Kessler.
Yeah.
A lot of our brothers and sisters have this book. We teach out of this book, but do we read the book? Do we actually chew up what's in there?
Yeah.
Because this is their blessing. It lines up right with the scripture. We're going to go to page 89. All right, and this is the 13th tribe by one of their own, Arthur Kessler. He's talking about the so-called white man that took our nationality.
Right.
The Israelis, what you would call them today. It says, when a child is born to them, they place a drawn sword in front of him, and his father says, I have neither gold nor silver nor wealth which I can bequeath to you. This is thine inheritance.
The sword.
Right. The sword is their inheritance.
For by thy sword shalt thou live.
There you go. So that's their blessing from Jacob, our father, or from, from Jacob himself.
Right.
Right. That, you know what? I'm sorry, Isaac.
I'm sorry.
Isaac blessed them and said, you know what? This is your inheritance.
Right.
And this is what they carried on until the 1300s right here as the Khazar Empire.
Right.
This is thine inheritance. With it, secure prosperity for thyself. See that? So they're prosperous because of their blessing from this part of history to all the way 4,000, 5,000 years ago.
Right.
This is their blessing. And the scripture just said in Esdras that they were going to have swords in their hands. People was going to come against people with swords in their hands. Well, through their policy, they made it so they disarmed you.
Right.
They disarmed the black man, the Hispanic man, the Native American man. Come on, they trying to protect their water in Standing Rock right now. No guns.
Hey, like I keep saying, go look at all these instances where these guys stood up. Look at Donor. This guy was skilled. He was ex-military, right? Even the guy that in Dallas, ex-military, very strategic, very smart. He got a few off, killed a few. But you're coming up against a nation.
Right. A whole nation. You're trying to pick them off one at a time.
Right.
The other guys, the ones way back in Washington, I think it was. They went around, a boy was hiding in the car, and they were shooting out the back.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean, you had those. All very good plans.
Right.
But it didn't work out. See that?
Both sides and bless that hand.
Right. That's not how it's going to be. Our deliverance is going to come.
And they don't understand it from this another perspective for us to think about. Did Martin Luther King do it?
No.
Did Marcus Garvey do it?
Nope.
Did Malcolm X do it?
Exactly.
Right. No man. We are not going to be the deliverers.
Right. Armed or unarmed movements.
Nah, not this time.
Marches, parades, all the things we've done.
They don't understand that. Just like we know as Hebrew Israelites that none of that's going to save us.
Right.
When you read in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, 68th verse, it said, "No man shall save."
Right. No man shall buy you.
No man is going to buy you. No man's going to be our deliverer.
Right. He's not going to redeem or save us.
Right.
And we keep thinking that that's going to happen, that we're going to do it through force of arms when we know the basic scripture.
Right.
This is a basic scripture that we just glossed over and said, no, we're going to have a race war and we win. Where?
No. Right.
No man, not even yourself, not just because you got in the Bible, doesn't mean you're going to be the man that gets to deliver Israel.
Right.
Christ is going to deliver Israel.
Right.
All right?
Yes.
Where you at?
Second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 16.
And this is one of the last scriptures. There's many more that I could chop down categorically, but for time's sake, we're going to hit this last one. Read on.
Verse 16. For there shall be seditions among men.
Right, there's going to be seditions among men, which is happening already. Go ahead.
And invading one another. They shall not regard their king.
Okay, black man, what nation have you invaded? So-called Native American, what nation have you invaded? These things that are going to happen from Israel invading anybody, but I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's not going to happen like that.
Yeah.
All right. We have no force to invade anywhere.
Where's the black man's king? Where's the so-called Mexican's king?
We can't even invade the White House.
There's so many.
The nigga ran across the lawn to the White House, got through the front door and everything, got tackled and took out.
I keep saying it. We got to reiterate it. The kingdom that is divided against itself shall not stand.
Can't stand.
So let's look at all of us Israelites. Put that 12 sign back,
right.
12 tribe sign up there. All these Israelite brothers and sisters, First of all, you still got the 9.5 that hate their own people. Yeah, they're whitewashed so much that they hate the dark skin of their own people.
Right.
Of their own people. And I'm talking about, I mean, like even like when you look at the Puerto Ricans, the light skinned ones are gonna hate the dark skinned ones.
Right.
So when you jump up to the 12 tribes, the so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, they can't even get together.
Right. Levi and Simeon are on the same island.
Now,
so-called Haitians and Dominicans.
Now, let's go to the ones that are waking.
Right.
We are woke.
Right.
How many camps is going to join together in one mind, one judgment, one accord?
Nah, brother, you buying water on the Sabbath.
Right. We can't even get past these little disagreements.
Right.
To respect each other enough to unify.
And why? Because there's not a general combined understanding of simple scriptures. Zephaniah 2:1, Psalms 133. Where did the Most High command the blessing?
Right.
In unity. That's what we always had on our side.
Right.
Those are scriptures I wanted to bring out to show, okay, we know what they had on their side. They had the sword.
Right.
That's their blessing. They have their craft. We had the Most High.
Right. Can I throw this one in here?
What's that?
Just another one. So you're not gonna do it with the niggas in the world because they're off, they're wicked, right?
Right.
Just talking about the mind state.
Right.
Then you're not gonna do it with the wicked camps.
Right.
Then who you finna do this with?
Right. Kemet?
Right. Cause think about it. You gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. All you Israelites that say, "Oh yeah, those niggas is wicked. We're not gonna do it with them."
Right. The Nawabians?
Well, then who we gonna do it with? Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it with the 144,000. Well, the 144,000 is gonna come up, and their order is gonna be established.
Right.
Right. But they know one thing: that Christ is our deliverer.
Exactly.
That Christ is the one that every knee shall bow to him. When the fourth dimension opens up and Christ is returning, you're not going to be talking about getting your gun, getting this, we're going to do this. You know what you're going to do? What the Bible said you're going to do.
Exactly.
Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. And it says the men's knees shall be weak as water.
Exactly.
You're going to be crying and begging because the power and the glory that we're seeing.
Right. And exactly like we talked about in class, and we're going to go to Joel 2 to show, this is one of those scriptures they use to say, see, this is going to happen. Yeah, but these are angels.
There you go.
These are angels you're reading about in Joel 2. These are 260-foot men. Like we were talking about, like I was talking about in class the other day. These are 260-foot men of war, sent by the Most High with spiritual power that's going to be doing these things.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be you with your 9 turned sideways.
Right.
You got that white man on there on YouTube with the big beard, and he's just talking all this, I wish you would come at me with my 9. And he's pointing his 44 at the camera, and the barrel's this big. And he's like, I'll pull this out. And these guys are trained. Right. They're ready for you. They're ready for you. He's like, while you spraying all over with your AK and doing all this, I'm going to point this right at your back and blow the black of your skull out. He's ready. He's 80 years old, man. But he's still ready to do this at the drop of a hat. And you can't get your hands on one of those guns.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But where we at on Joel? Because this is another one they misconstrue and say, okay, that's going to be us. Let's see the characteristics of this vengeance from the Most High.
Joel chapter 2, you want me to start at verse 1?
Yes, sir.
Chapter 2 and verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm.
So now we're into the topic of what's actually going to happen. All right. We knocked out what they have on their side, what we have on our side. We knocked out why brothers think this certain way. And now we're going to kind of tie it all together and show what's actually going to happen.
All right. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
Go ahead.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
So whose day is it?
The day of the Lord cometh.
Right. The day of the so-called Negro?
The day of the Lord.
The Black Panther Party?
The day of the Lord.
Malcolm X going to rise from the dead?
The day of the Lord.
Okay, so it's going to be the Lord's day. Go ahead.
For it is nigh at hand.
Go ahead.
A day of darkness and of gloominess. A day of clouds and of thick darkness.
Go ahead.
As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong.
He said a great people and a strong.
Right.
Our people are weak as hell, man. Look, come on, the white man decimated the Native American with whiskey and smallpox.
Firewater.
You think a people that's great and strong can catch the common cold? that these people that's going to be able to trample over these nations is going to be, look at the characteristics. As you read this, think, is this the so-called black man right now today? Is this the so-called Native American right now today? They can't even defend their own damn water rights on their own land. Go ahead.
There has not been ever the like.
There's never been the like these people that's going to trample these nations. So that's not talking about you Negroes right now. Not talking about you Puerto Ricans right now. All right, go ahead.
Neither shall be any more after it.
Right, and there'll never be another people like this. Go ahead.
Even of the years of many generations.
Go ahead.
A fire devoureth before them.
Right, a fire devours before them. That's what kind of force we're dealing with that's going to come and from the Most High to destroy these nations.
Right.
A fire is going to devour before them. Go ahead.
And behind them a flame burneth.
Right, go ahead.
And the land is as the Garden of Eden before them.
Right, so before them, everything looks all peaceful and nice, just like that's how it's going to be in the end, like Christ said. It's going to be like the days of Noah. They were drinking and giving in marriage.
Right.
They think it's going to be like we talked about in class. They think it's going to be
Mad Max Thunderdome.
There you go. You know what I mean? And it's actually going to be like the Garden of Eden before them. It's going to be peaceful.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
And behind them a desolate wilderness.
But when they pass over, it's going to be Mad Max beyond Thunderdome.
And I'm going to throw this in there, right in there. Romans 12, verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lies in you, live peaceably with all men.
Yeah.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
There it is.
Avenge not yourselves. Avenge not yourselves. But rather give place unto wrath.
There it is.
Whose wrath?
The Most High's, man.
Whose wrath?
Yeah.
For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord.
Yeah. He said it in Wisdom of Solomon, anger was not made for man, nor furious anger for those that are born of a woman. So what wrath is he talking about? He's talking about the wrath of the Most High, man.
Yes, sir.
That's the real fear that these nations are going to tremble over. But read on.
Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Right, nothing's going to escape them. Now, is that happening with the so-called black man? Did Chris Dorner not let anybody escape? No, they burned his ass alive. Nat Turner, that was a horrible, disgraceful rebellion. I don't know who put that together, but I don't know why they even followed him. I haven't even heard that. Nat Turner's rebellion.
Right.
I don't want to spoil it for nobody that didn't get to watch the movie.
Right.
But basically, he lost.
Right.
Where you at?
Joel chapter 2 and verse 4.
Right.
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses.
Right, see that? Now, you ain't got no black, Hispanic, they don't appear to look like horses.
Right. And it's showing you the force and the power that's going to be with these angels.
Yeah.
It's showing you their power that we're not going to have that power.
Exactly.
You know, we're going to be being delivered.
Yeah.
We're going to be, the scriptures say that the chariots are pulling us up.
Yeah.
We're going to be changed in the twinkling. Then took to the wilderness.
Right. So we're gonna get to see these things from afar happening.
Right.
We're gonna be in the midst of this, doing this.
Right.
This is angels gonna be having to do this.
Right. Deuteronomy 32, verse 43. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants.
There it is.
And will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people.
There it is.
He possess a pronoun. Right? He's going to do it.
There it is. Was that it?
Yeah,
that's perfect. That's perfect. Read on.
Okay. And as horsemen, so shall they run. Verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on top of mountains.
Right. Go ahead.
Shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame, a fire that devoureth the stubble. As a strong people set in battle array.
As a strong people set in battle array, meaning order.
Right.
We don't have that, Negro. We don't have that, Mexican.
Yep.
El Chapo got locked up. That was the end of y'all's rebellion. Che Guevara, he's done. I don't even think he was Bolivian.
Right.
But all that's done, man. Pancho Villa, he got put down. Everybody's done. So where are you thinking that this is a race war that's going to happen?
Right. Psalms 94, verse 1. O Lord Yahweh, to whom vengeance belongeth.
There it is.
Of the Most High, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth. Render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long shall the wicked How long shall the wicked triumph?
This is what the righteous know, where the righteous know their vengeance is coming from.
From the Lord.
They pray to the Most High.
To the Most High.
And
exactly.
if we did it collectively, like he said in 1 Chronicles 6,
yeah.
when he told Solomon,
yeah.
if we did it collectively and faced his city, that vengeance will come quick.
Right. That's why he says, give place to vengeance.
There you go.
And that's the thing that, here's the question. How many of these brothers and how many of these people are getting killed by the so-called white man? And how many of us want to go get guns and want to go hunt the white man down on all these police officers and go damn supersonic on them?
Every time I see the police brutality videos, man, it's like...
But that's just going to end up... We just going to end up other dead occultic Israelites that promoted that.
Yeah, and they're not going to come after us either. I know Esau's tricks, man.
Yeah.
They don't come after you, the man that directly did it. They come after your families. They come after the niggas on the streets. They just pull people over and they assume that they're part of your thing because they're black. So now they got a license to shoot you now.
Yeah.
So this ain't, you know, you're thinking about it, but you got to watch how Esau has always moved.
Yeah.
They didn't kill us by straight on combat.
Right.
They killed us with love.
Right.
You know what I mean? By our love for our people.
Right.
Where they did some kind of thing, oh yeah, we're gonna make a peace treaty with you.
Right.
Oh damn, that's all we want. We want to live at peace.
Yeah.
So what? Then what do? They lock us in jail and we die of tuberculosis.
Right.
That's how they won all their rebellions.
Yeah.
They didn't beat us head on. Toussaint L'Ouverture, he's dead. When you deal with Haiti.
Yeah.
Put Napoleon to shame, made him bankrupt. But how did they win over that? Oh, they went to the UN and cried for reparations because they got their butt kicked. Right. So now Haiti got to pay France. That's why they're in a third world country.
We have to understand that all the power has been stripped from humanity.
There it is.
Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Yep.
The white man himself is realizing they can't do nothing.
Right.
They can't do nothing. They're trying to recount the vote. They're trying to annul the amendment of the Electoral College.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Nah.
This is their kingdom. The devil has his time.
There it is.
His time is almost up. Just wait. Just be patient. This is the patient and the faith of the saints.
Yep.
That whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. They're not going to get away with it.
Right. And
they have 1 and 2.
Yeah. And you know what's just on that is that these are you're bringing up basic scriptures. You're not bringing up, like, you don't have to go into the book of Enoch and Adam and Eve and the quasars to find this. It's the same things we've been preaching on street corners for 40 years, 50 years.
Yeah.
But how do brothers miss this? Because they're trying to inject their rage.
There's so much. How are you going to train when you got to go to work?
Right.
It's like you got to work 2 jobs.
Right.
What are you training about?
Right. You go to the gun range before or after you clock out at Domino's. Which one?
No. Nahum 1 and 2. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies.
Hey, you know what? You're going to scriptures and brothers can't even find. Half of these young cats can't even go to Nahum.
Right.
Because they take them 20 minutes to get there after they look in the contents. So go to Revelations 2 and 9 real quick. Let's go to the ones they skipped over. That's why I said I wanted to go real basic because these are the ones that brothers skipped and said, you know what? I'm going to inject my feelings into this. But look at what we tell Esau. Revelations 2 and 9. Read that.
Revelations chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
There you go.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, but are not.
Right, the so-called white man that's calling himself Jews, right? He knows their blasphemy, right? And what's he going to do about it?
But they are of the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
He's going to do these things. Go ahead.
And ye may be tired. Ye shall be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
Right.
Be thou faithful unto death.
So we're supposed to be faithful through all that. We're going to have the tribulations.
Yeah.
But did he say you was going to fight back and overcome with your guns?
Nah.
Said be faithful unto death.
Right. When Peter had a sword on him, he told Peter, hey, listen, put that away.
Right.
He that lived by the sword shall die by the sword. But go to 3 and 9.
Chapter 3.
Because like I said, these are the ones
9.
we teach and show Esau, you're the devil and this and that. But who's going to overcome that?
Yeah.
Who's going to overcome that man? Read 3 verse 9.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
Who's that talking?
This is Christ talking.
Okay, so he's going to make them that are of the synagogue of Satan.
Right.
Read.
Which say they are Jews and are not,
Right.
but do lie.
Right.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
Wait, you're going to do it. You're going to go out there with your gun and make Becky come up and kiss your feet.
Red Letter Edition Bible, Christ is talking. He said, I will make them come and worship before thy feet.
I mean, this is basic. We read this all the time on the streets. We tell Esau this all the time to their face, but we forget because we try to inject our blind rage. That's why they call it that, blind rage, blind hatred, because it make you blind to the basics.
Yeah.
He's going to come and do these things. Isaiah 49:23. It's another favorite that we preach on the street corners. And we got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to try to knock that out real quick. Just flash it up there.
Isaiah 49 and what?
23.
In verse 23, it says, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers,
Read.
and their queens thy nursing mothers.
Okay.
They shall bow down to thee
Right.
with their face toward the earth, and lick the dust of thy feet.
Right. See that? So we read this all the time, but who was going to make that happen? We just read it.
It was Christ.
Christ is going to do that. He's going to bring them.
Right.
When you read Isaiah 60, he's going to bring them. When you read this, the whole chapter of this, he's going to bring that. So we got to understand. Hit 14 and 1 real quick, if we can. Yeah.
And you know, when we talk about this 30, yeah. Anyway, we have to do a part 2 on this show.
Oh no, I hit everything, but
okay.
You know, this is what we got to understand, brothers and sisters, is that the race war that you're fearing, that people got you geared up for, it's not going to happen the way you think. So you know, all your stockpiling and your munitions, if you can actually afford it and get around the laws that they set up against you, is not going to work out. You have to unify by Christ.
Right.
You have to unify under Christ in the same mind and the same judgment.
Right.
But with that, we want y'all to join us Monday and Wednesdays, 7 to 10, Friday from 6 to 9 p.m., and then Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. At 8524 South Braesville Boulevard. This is Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. Thank you for joining us.
Shalom.
Shalom.